Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Brucker and welcome to the Playline Stat Prediction Show. I will be including NFL games into my stat prediction show as well. Looks like we have one game set up for tonight. It includes Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, and Jordan Howard, in which we'll go over here in just a moment. Last night I did very well in the tournaments. I had a team place 12th out of 1,850, 20th out of 1,850. I also placed 20th in the 800-man double-up game. So like I stated previously, I do pretty well in the tournaments and the games, actually all of them, throughout Playline. So what we'll go ahead and do first is we'll go ahead and start off with the $1 million slate tonight, NBA. The first player on that slate is Kyrie Irving, who last night had a pretty nice night. He's had 33 points in his last two games. He's having a very great season, doing very well without LeBron, which is pretty expected. The guy can just score with the best of them. I currently have Kyrie Irving set to score between 24 to 29 points tonight against the Grizzlies. As I stated previously, I believe the Grizzlies are a good defensive team. So once again, me personally, I always keep my play lines a little bit lower than their season averages or usual when they're going up against the Grizzlies. So like I stated previously, Kyrie's had 33 in his last two. I'm expecting between 24 to 29 points, especially with Al Horford back, and he's playing well also. Next, we have Damian Lillard, who is playing the Hornets tonight. The last two games, Damian Lillard has scored under 25 points. I am expecting a bounce-back game from Dame. He has been having a great season. He's been becoming a more all-around NBA player. For my play line tonight, I'm expecting anywhere between 24 to 29 points. Now, that's just me personally. He has been averaging in the low 30s. So if you want to even go up to 31, that's completely fine too. But me personally, I'm going between 24 to 29 points for my play line prediction for Damian Lillard tonight. Next, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo. They are playing the Rockets tonight, which is going to be a very fun game. I expect Giannis and Harden to go back and forth as two MVP candidates duel it out. So for tonight, Giannis, I am expecting between 27 to 32 points. Now, once again, if you believe that he is going to duel it out with James Harden tonight and score more than 32, you can go you can go up to 35, but me personally, I'm sticking in between 27 to 32 points for this evening for Giannis. Next, we have James Harden. James Harden is playing the Bucks tonight. Once again, I am expecting a duel with Giannis tonight. It's going to be a very fun watching game. As of late, Harden has lightened the scoring load. Hasn't been scoring in the low 30s as often. He's had like 28 and 27 points, which is completely fine. He had the 117 assist game the other night. So for tonight, I am expecting between 27 to 32 points for James Harden to get back up there. Maybe in the 28 to 29, but I also expect him to have a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of assists as well. So anywhere between 27 to 32 for James Harden this evening is where I'll be predicting my play line. Next, we have Jimmy Butler versus the Suns, who quietly is having a pretty good season. You're not seeing him score insane amounts because he's on the Timberwolves, full of superstars. So even though he has scored, I believe he had 38 2 nights ago. On my play line, I'm not expecting a huge game from Jimmy Butler. I'm expecting anywhere between 19 to 25 points for him, right around his season average, I believe is 21. So yes, 19 to 25 points for Jimmy Butler this evening. Next, we have LeBron James versus the Jazz. LeBron is an MVP candidate. You can kind of tell by the games that he's having and the numbers he's putting up that you can tell this season he's actually making it a point to actually try to get MVP again, to try to bring his level up to Jordan, which some people think he'll never pass him. I mean, I didn't watch basketball when Jordan was in his prime, so to me, LeBron is my favorite player, and he is the best player to me personally. I'm not going to argue with you about Jordan. It's just because I didn't get to see him. I can only go off numbers. So LeBron has had 25 points in his last 2 games exactly. I think he's going. I also think he's trying to average a triple-double as well. I've noticed him after Harden had the 17 assist game. LeBron had the 17 assist game. Like I said, trying to emulate his numbers, trying to get people to look at him over Harden, who is also having a very exceptional season. So for tonight, I'm expecting LeBron's play line to be anywhere between 25 to 30 points, with a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of assists as well. Next on the slate, looks like we have Mr. Russell Westbrook, who once again is having a very poor season. The numbers are always there, of course, but from the free throw line and from the field goal, his field goal percentage is very poor. I believe he's shooting like 60-something% from the line, which is horrible. You can tell it's mental. So if something's going on, I don't know if he's not comfortable with his new teammates. I'm very interested to see how well the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be, and how well they're going to do when they win, and if they even make the playoffs, which I expect them to. Now, the Thunder are playing the Knicks, which is Carmelo's old team. So I do expect Carmelo to hoist a bunch of shots. I'm expecting Russell's play line to be anywhere between 23 to 28 points for tonight. Because once again, I believe it's going to be the Melo show tonight, or at least he's going to try to be the Melo show tonight. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, anywhere between 23 to 27 points for Westbrook tonight is where I'll be predicting my play line for this evening. And that concludes it for the $1 million slate game this evening. Now there's 2 more games that I need to go over. The next game is the triple stat with 3 players, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Westbrook. You're asked to predict the scoring total, the rebounds, and the assist. So for LeBron, like I spoke previously, I predict his scoring total to be anywhere between 25 to 30 points this evening. I expect his rebounds to be anywhere between 7 to 12. And I'm expecting his assists to be between 8 and 13. Next, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has been having a lot of rebounds lately. So I am expecting Giannis's point total to be between 27 to 32 points. For tonight is where I'll be predicting my play line personally. His rebounds between 9 to 14. He normally averages in around the 11 range or so. So, wherever you feel, if it's going to be higher than 11 or lower than 11. But in between 9 to 14 rebounds is where I'll have Giannis for this evening. And his assist totals, I believe I'm going to put that between 4 to 7 assists for tonight's game. Next, in this game, we have Russell Westbrook. He has had a triple-double the last 2 games, so I'm expecting high rebounds and high assist totals for Westbrook. His point total, I'm expecting between 26 to 32. I'm sorry, I actually lowered that because they're playing the Knicks with Carmelo, so I'm sorry. 23 to 27 points for Russell Westbrook this evening. 23 to 27 points for Russell Westbrook this evening once again. I'm expecting between 9 to 12 rebounds for Russell Westbrook tonight, and I'm expecting between 9 to 13 assists for Russell Westbrook tonight. I'm not necessarily sure he's going to get the triple-double. I think he's going to be really close, so anything like, 28, 11, and 9, is certainly feasible for you to use, and I think you'll be okay, and I think you'll do pretty well in your play line. So next we have the one NFL game for tonight. Features Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, and Jordan Howard. Now, I am an LA Chargers fan, and a New York Knicks fan, if you can't tell. So I'm rooting for a win tonight. This game asks you to predict the rushing attempts and the rushing yards. So for Melvin Gordon versus the Chiefs, I'm expecting his rushing attempts to be between 16 to 22. I'm expecting his yards total to be between 60 yards to 80 yards. And earlier in the season, they did play the Chiefs already once this year. Melvin Gordon put up 17 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, I expect him to emulate that. Melvin Gordon's been in between 60 and 80, maybe a little bit lower than 60 most of his games throughout the season. So, yes, between 60 to 80 yards and between 16 to 22 rushing attempts for Melvin Gordon this evening. Next, we have Kareem Hunt. Who I'm hoping doesn't have a good game personally, but I think he's going to have a decent game. Let's see. I'm expecting Hunt's carries to be in between 17 to 25 carries for tonight. The Chargers do have a mediocre run defense. It got a lot better once Denzel Perryman returned. He certainly has been a big boost to our run defense. I'm expecting Kareem Hunt's yardage total to be between 75 to 105 yards. So anywhere in between that is where I'm predicting his play line is going to be. Now, Kareem Hunt did have a huge game versus the Chargers earlier in the year. He went for 17 carries for 172 yards. Now, earlier into the season, Kareem Hunt was having these outrageous games, and then he started to simmer down a little bit. So I'm not necessarily putting my rushing yardage total near the 172. If you want to go a little bit higher between the 75 to 105, if you want to be between 95 and 105, that's completely fine as well. I certainly would keep that in mind. But also, there's been a lot of games where Kareem Hunt just hasn't had a good game. So that's why I'm keeping it at 75 to 105, because, you know, we could try to gain all the focus on Kareem Hunt, stack the box, and try to stop him, you know, to prevent him from having a huge day. So, yes, anywhere between 75 rushing yards to 105 rushing yards and 17 rushing attempts to 25 rushing attempts. Next, last but not least, we have Jordan Howard versus the Detroit Lions. I am expecting between 15 to 23 carries for Jordan Howard this evening. I'm expecting his yardage total to be anywhere between 85 rushing yards to 115 rushing yards. Last game versus Detroit, Jordan Howard rushed for 15 carries for 125 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, if you think he's going to rush for a lot of yardage, more than my 115, go for it. I'm expecting him between 85 rushing yards to 115 rushing yards. And I do certainly spend time studying all this information before providing it to you guys. Once again, this is all where I'm personally predicting my play line. And I do spend a certain amount of time studying each and every slate every night. So you don't necessarily have to follow what I'm saying. But like I stated previously, I'm just here to try to help some of the newer guys that aren't very experienced with Playline. So yeah, good luck on tonight's games. Reach out to me and let me know how you're doing. My Twitter handle is at mbruck8 on Twitter. So yeah, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to like my video, share my video, retweet my video, I'd certainly appreciate that. Once again, just want to thank Playline and Michael Bisping for the opportunity to play. I love Playline. Who wouldn't love a company that gives away free money? So yeah, good luck, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I plan on doing the early NFL games in a video. I'm just undecided as of right now. You guys let me know if you guys want me to do the NFL games, and if you want me to, I will, certainly. And also, if you have any questions, once again, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Yeah, have a good one, guys.